Hi guys, this is Julia from JustOneMoreCard.com, and today I want to show you 3 different coloring styles using the ZIG Clean Color Real Brush markers or pencils or brushes, whatever they are. I picked up a set of 24 and wanted to see how they would work, if I would like them because everybody's raving about them so much. And of course I'm using some stamps by Purple Onion Designs, and I'm using my Stamp-A-Magic here to place the bear on this die cut shape. This shape is from the decorative die 1 die by Pretty Pink Posh. Sorry for that. All the supplies I'm using are listed in the video description below. And I'm just, as I said, using my Stamp-A-Magic here to place the image perfectly on the tag. And you can see that I'm doing the same here for the bubbles because of course I want them to go in a very specific place, and thanks to the Stamp-A-Magic it's no problem at all to stamp the stamps. So I've created these color swatches. I used the templates that Jennifer McGuire provided. I mean, she's already done all the work and it's just perfect to map out the colors that I have. And since they're like watercolors, they're very easy to mix and match, so I figured I didn't need more than the 24 colors. So on this first type of coloring, what I'm doing is I'm trying to color mainly using the brushes themselves. So I'm putting down the darkest color first on the very outside of his face where it would be the darkest, and then I'm coming in with the next lighter color, mixing that in, and then blending it out with the third lightest color, and only at the very end I'm coming in with a brush that has some water in it and I'm blending this out. I wanted to see what kind of different effects I could get using different techniques. So I am employing this technique for the rest of this first coloring. Again, using mainly the brushes themselves to put down the color, or mostly the color there, and then just blending it out a little bit with my brush. I'm going to play some music and I'm going to catch you for the next type of coloring in a moment. And here I'm finishing up this style of coloring by creating a grounds, like the hint of grass. And you can see that the bear itself has dried by now and the color is very intense. And it's actually a little bit too intense for my taste. So on my next style of coloring, I'm going to go a little lighter. What I'm doing here is I'm starting out with a lighter color and I'm immediately coming in with my brush that has some clean water and I'm blending this out. So I'm not starting with the darkest color, I'm starting with the lightest color. And I'm even dabbing away some of the colors so the face of the bear will remain a little lighter, because I really didn't like how the first coloration turned out. I'm not a fan of dark overall. I want nice highlights and shadows, and I felt that there were too many shadows in my first coloration. Now you can see here after this has dried, or his head has dried, I'm coming in with a darker brown. This is not the darkest one, this is a darker brown, and I'm blending it out with my brush here. And I'm taking care to activate the color, pull it out a bit, and then come in and blend it out a little bit with clean water so I have a nice gradient from the dark to the light. And actually you could have left it like this, looking back at it, I feel that I should have just left it at that. It didn't need to go any darker than this, but I just wanted to go darker, have more contrast. And sometimes it's, just because you're used to doing something in a specific way, there's not really a reason why you have to do it like this all the way. So as you can see here, I'm coming back and I'm adding the darkest color in and blending this out, or trying to blend this out. And I'm blending this out, then I'm cleaning off my brush, and then I'm coming back in with clean water to blend this out. Because if you would pull out the color without cleaning off the brush in between, you would pull the color in very far and I did not want that. That's why I'm cleaning off my brush in between pulling the colors out. I hope that makes sense. So you can actually see that I'm coming back in with the lightest color again, and the reason for that was I wanted it to have a little more warmth to it. Now my last coloration process is using my blender pen. This is a technique I've been enjoying a lot, and I'm enjoying it a lot with critters because I often find that using the blender pen gives me texture when I blend out the color, and that is really great for critters that have fur. So if you want it really to be really smooth and no texture at all, then use the second technique. I find that this one gives the best results if that's what you're going for. But if you like a little bit of texture and structure, then I feel that the blender pen does an excellent job. And you can see here how easy it is to grab the color that I've applied with the markers and just blend this out. You can see that's a very nice gradient that I'm getting. With the blender pen, I feel it's very important to wait until it has dried completely before you go over areas again, because I have tried expensive watercolor paper and cheap watercolor paper. The paper usually pills. So if this happens for you, don't worry, it happens to me as well. And I feel that one of the things you can do to prevent your paper from damaging too badly is to really wait until it's really dry, or to go in with your heat gun and really dry the paper through and through, not just the top, like really dry it through, and then go back in with the blender pen. Otherwise, if you do it in between, you might end up damaging the paper too much. And you can see the texture here, at least I hope you can see it. It's not the smooth look that you get when you blend with a brush that just has water. You do get like the pieces of the paper itself, like they create this texture. I'm sorry, I can't really explain it any better, but I hope you can see the difference here. And I'm going to show you in some close-ups what the difference between the colorations is. And you can see here that I can also use it to create this background here. And it blends rather nicely. So here's the first coloration that we did, where I mainly used the markers themselves to blend colors into each other. It's very dark. This one is the second one, where I used my water brush mainly to blend the colors, and you can see how nice and bright that is compared to the first one. And here you can see the slight texture that you get when you work with a blender pen. I used the same colors on all the three bears, so it's all the same, and these were the two I liked best, and I ended up using the second one where I blended the color with the brush. And I used that for my card, and I'm going to show you some close-ups of the card that I created using this coloration. So, first of all, here's a close-up of the coloration with only or mainly the ZIG markers, where you blend from one color into another with one marker. Then here's the second coloration, where I used a brush with clean water to blend the colors into each other, and I like this one a lot. And here's the third coloration, where I used the blender pen, and you can see the nice texture that you can get when you use the blender pen. And I really do like that effect. So here's the card that I've created. I actually put the tag shape onto a piece of black paper, fuzzy cut around it, and then stamped the background with another confetti stamp by Purple Onion Designs, and decorated it a little bit more. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've got inspired and experiment a little bit with your coloring mediums. Catch you again soon. Bye!